some big breaking news, and this is perhaps one of the most definitive proof which may be surfacing in Lakhimpur Kheri. Violence Times Now exclusive gets you yet another video of Lakhimpur violence where the arrested accused Ashish Pandey, Love Kush have been seen fleeing the Thar jeep which had run over the protesters. This video shows Ashish getting down the Thar first and then Love Kush leaping outside the vehicle to escape the attack from the enraged protesters who had started hitting the vehicle after it came to a halt on the side of this road. Now, this establishes their presence at the spot. Let me go across to our bureau chief. Amir Haki is joining us. He's the one who's accessed this for us from Lakhimpur. There's also Priyank joining us live. Amir, if you can tell us, whom can we see? What is the significance of this? After all, Ashish Pandey, his father, union minister, has always said that he was not even there at the spot.
Well, that's right, Meghna, which is why, this visual also, somehow establishes this fact that Ashish Mishra, at least, does not seem to be present in the Thar, the lead vehicle in the cavalcade of three vehicles that, rammed through the crowd, the protesters that were standing on the middle of the road. Well, in the earlier visual that we saw, the first person who we saw, which is quite apparent, who gets down from the front door of the Thar is Sumit Jaiswal, and then in this particular visual, this is absolutely apparent that Ashish Pandey and Love Kush are the two people who seem to be leaping outside this Thar vehicle, because remember, Thar vehicle does not have back doors. It only has two doors in the front, and therefore you have to fold the front seat to get out of the vehicle. And this visual establishes that the front seat had been folded, and Ashish Pandey as well as Love Kush seem to be leaping out because the protesters, angry protesters, had already striking and hitting out on the Thar vehicle which had mowed down the protesters. In fact, if you look at this particular visual closely, you will find out that at least bodies of two of the protesters who had been hit by the vehicle are stuck right before the the rear wheel of the Thar vehicle. So this is just moments after the vehicle had hit the protesters that the occupants of the Thar vehicle actually leaped out of the vehicle and were trying to escape the fury of the protesters who had started attacking the vehicle.
Well, this is very significant, and Priyank, if I can come to you, then does this establish beyond any doubt, because all along Ashish Pandey has been saying there are also videos which have been circulated saying that he was at the Dangal 4 kilometers away.
Yes, Meghna, and this event was organized first the Sunday morning, and since then he claimed that he was there. When he spoke to Amir, he was giving a detailed explanation of what he had to say. What it appears, Amir, that he will be giving the same statement to the police, because the CRPC 160 statement which has been given to him will give him very less leverage for the police officers to cross-question him and to get into further detail. What it could happen that the police would be having a list of questions on the basis of which he'll be questioned. So certainly, if the police need to go into the detail, and since 5 people have been also placed under arrest, the police need to take his police custody so that more detail can come out. He's a prime accused in this case. If the investigation need to follow in a particular pattern, the questioning need to be done in a certain manner. But Ahmed, as we were expecting, he did not turn up for the questioning at 10 a.m. And what Ahmed was getting into for us, Meghna, that he has approached the police that he might appear through video conferencing. For that, the official confirmation is still awaited, whether he has joined or he will be joining.
Well, that's right, Priyank, and in fact this brings the focus back to the police because the onus clearly here lies on the police. The police was sitting here, did not even care to approach the minister's son to question him, at least in a few preliminary rounds after that fateful incident happened on Sunday afternoon. There was plenty of time. Times Now was the first channel to interview him in detail and ask him all such questions that opposition and members from the protesting farmers were actually asking the minister and his son. He answered all those questions, and he must have given at least 50 television interviews. But over the
लेकिन इस समय संपर्क में नहीं हो पा रहा है आपस में।
ये बताया जा रहा है कि फरार चल रहे हैं।
नहीं, फरार क्यों?
क्या वो बाहर चले गए?
थोड़ी ना कोई कातिल हैं कि फरार होंगे।
नहीं तो जांच के लिए आएंगे, आज उन्हें बुलाया गया क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए, 10
बिल्कुल
बजे का
आएंगे।
समय था, वो निकल गया है।
निकल गया है तो आएंगे, थोड़ा देर सवेर हो जाती है।
सर ये भी
अब
कहा
अभी
जा रहा है कि वो
कहीं बाहर
लॉयर्स के साथ लगातार बातचीत कर रहे हैं फोन पे। कोई
भाई, ये
affidavit
आप लोगों को
sign
जानकारी हो
कराया
सकता हो, हमें नहीं है। फिलहाल उनका मोबाइल ही स्विच ऑफ है, तो हम लोगों की कोई बात नहीं हो पाई है अभी।
गया है। क्या नेपाल उनकी लोकेशन बताई जा रही
नहीं
है
नहीं
आपकी?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, नेपाल क्यों जाएंगे?
तो क्या हम ये मान सकते हैं कि वो आज जो है जाएंगे SIT के सामने?
बिल्कुल, आज उम्मीद है कि पूरा है कि ये जाएंगे जरूर।
कितने बजे तक? क्या आप उन्हीं को रिसीव करने के लिए जा रहे हैं?
नहीं नहीं, हम
समझ
अपने काम से जा रहे हैं, हमारा बैग है, हम अपने काम से जा रहे हैं।
रहे? ठीक है सर, चलो भैया चलो, खत्म हो गया अमृत जी।
Well, there you have it. You have a reaction coming in from Ashish Mishra Teni's relative who says that थोड़ी बहुत देर हो जाती है. Maybe in some time Ashish is going to turn up. 10 o'clock is when he was summoned. So Amir, if I can come back to you, it's already past 10 o'clock. He's not yet appeared. There is more proof which has now come up against Ashish Mishra. So these are very serious questions which now need to be raised against the UP the police ahead of the Supreme Court demanding a status, that they need to now explain where is this man who's the main accused, why he's not even summoned till yesterday.
Well, absolutely, Meghna, and which is why we saw a flurry of activity immediately after the Supreme Court took suo motu notice of the goings-on here in Lakhimpur Kheri and asked the UP government to prepare a report and present before it as to whether the FIR has been registered, whether which persons have been registered as accused, and whether any of those accused have been arrested by the police. And it does seem that the UP police finally chose to, show as arrested or as detained all such people who were either injured in the accident, in the incident, or even the ones, the 3 people who were deceased and who lost their lives after being lynched by the angry mob after that incident took place. So clearly, as I said, the scanner is on the UP police as to the manner in which they have conducted their investigations and what exactly is going to be presented before the Supreme Court when the UP government presents its side just about half an hour from
Right.
now.
Yes, Amit, and Meghna, let me show you the visuals here. This area was totally, silent till the time the apex coder, passed the order that the police need to come out and give the status report. As suddenly, all the senior officials moved to this crime branch office, the IG, the ADG, everyone came, and within few minutes of time period, we got to know that 3 people who were already dead, Amit, were shown arrest on papers, and those people who are barely 100 meters away from here, who are in the hospital, were shown arrested
Right.
again. So just to show on paper that police was working very fast, this thing has been done.
Well,
Back to you.
absolutely. Right ahead of the Supreme Court status report, they've quickly, in a flurry of activity, now acted. However, it may be too late because last known location of Ashish is somewhere, of his cell phone at least, is somewhere near the Nepal border. Thank you so much for joining us with all the details from Lakhimpur. Amir as well as Priyank, keep tracking the very latest on that. But for the timing, let's move on in the bulletin.